All right. Y'all got y'all computers with y'all, so y'all should work through some of this stuff together with your teammates. Where's the 10th grade? Where's 10th grade? Where's Miss Bowman? Hello. Did you grab Miss Jones on your wheel?
She's on the way. She was on a call with her parents.
Love that. Love that.
Never in calling.
You go.
Hey,
I think it's very useful.
is there a sign-in sheet or something?
HMH book. So maybe we should start a sign-in sheet. You need to be recording if you want to record. I just read one. What? I'm recording the little thing. I need to do my Here, I'm gonna just have y'all use on the back of these.
Dawson, you can barely see yourself on here.
You filming yourself?
You think you can see yourself right there? Hey, hi.
This ain't close enough.
No, that's fine.
You fine?
Oh, girl, no people here. That's something.
I got you.
It's fine.
No.
I don't know until I don't. I go crazy. You just need to know that I was here, that y'all was here.
And that you did it.
Hi, girl.
Here you go.
Oh, here. Oh.
There you go. Alright, who missing? Miss Mars? Alright. Well, guys, I don't know what Miss Mars is. We're gonna start. Respect everybody's time. This presentation shouldn't take very long. We're gonna start. Alright, guys, so the sheet I just gave y'all, right? This is a sheet directly with the Georgia Department of Education, and it talks about differentiation instruction. So, as you guys know, you can differentiate in content, the process, the product, or even the environment. Okay, this is something we're gonna look at after we're done with this presentation. But just keep that in mind as we go through what this presentation with differentiation. Okay, so today we're talking about differentiation for diverse learners. The crux of this presentation is our multilingual learners, our students with disabilities, and even people that are in our class that struggle. So our kids in our 504s, our MTSS plans, and ways that we can actually use tools that are already in HMH to go ahead and differentiate for those students, okay? Because we have them, why not use the ones that are already given to us, okay? And that's just my way of doing it, okay? All right, so we have our learning target. Oh, the screen does not want me to be great. Oh, the technology, not technology.
There we go.
Okay. Well, we passed by our learning targets and success criteria. There we go. All right. So learning targets. We want to identify some scaffolds appropriate for our multilingual learners, students with disabilities, and our struggling readers. We want to apply at least one scaffold to an extension activity. So you will be working together with your team that you work with normally to create just one activity in HMH using the tools. We're going to talk about some different tools outside of HMH that you can also use as well, and that's, we're going to wrap it up real quick, okay? Agenda, like I said, we're using HMH, using those HMH tools and looking at the digital platforms. Why is my screen lagging? The screen lagging on my screen.
It may be the one. It's on here.
All right, there you go. All right, so we want to utilize these HMH tools to enhance our differentiation for our diverse learners in our high school ELA classrooms. And we want to just ensure that our material that we're teaching is still rigorous, because that's the thing. You can differentiate and it not be as rigorous. So we want to make sure that we're still giving that rigorous instruction. So that's one thing that I questioned how to do this semester. And so I said, well, how can we do this in a way that's meaningful? And I found some tools in HMH after going through a very deep dive. All right. So in my deep dive, phone is lagging. All right. So we on every lesson plan that we turn in, we have this little section that talks about our targeted instruction. Okay. And we have our subgroups. And honestly, there's certain subgroups that maybe you all as teachers, you focus on more than others. A lot of times we don't deal with the kids that might be dangerous. Sometimes we don't deal with our high achievers. Sometimes we just focus on our students with disabilities or our kids with 504s. But as a school, when we had our meeting with Dr. Saki, she was talking about how we're struggling with our students with disabilities. They are not growing at the rate at which they should be growing. And because that is the case, we want to make sure that we use the tools that HMH has for us to be able to do that. Okay. So when you go into HMH, they have a variety of different ways to differentiate your instruction. One way, and I've talked to some of the teachers here, I asked before we started this presentation, I said, what do you use in HMH to differentiate your instruction? So one thing Ms. James said was that she used summaries. Okay? We got Ms. Henfield in here. I know Ms. Henfield, she does her text sketch. She talked about that last year when we worked with her. Okay? They also have text and focus video in practice. They also have grammar practice. These are all in the platform. Now, I want y'all to raise your hand. Who has used any of these things that are currently on the screen? Okay. All right. All right. I like it.
Yeah, they've got great graphic organizers on there.
I like it. So, this has been a thing that I started using recently. The level up tutorials and practice tests. Have y'all ever used those before?
Yes.
Okay. Love those. When we're dealing with a specific standard or a specific skill, this is one way to kind of see if the students have that skill and what you can do. Who's done the interactive vocabulary list? Anybody know those? Okay, just him Phil's on those. I love these. These are directly aligned with our vocabulary that's in our little green. I don't know if y'all books are all y'all books green too?
Yeah.
Okay, the little grammar books. Okay. These are directly aligned with those green grammar books. And instead of having them do it on paper, you could actually have them do it online. And so this is another way that you can do that. And also it grades it for automatically. So if you use that as a grade for your class, you don't have to go in and grade it. It's automatically graded. So I love that. Okay. They also have guided skills practice that are in HMH. Okay. They also have the skills coach and they have the writing coach and they have the peer coach video. Okay. These are yes, we did one on phone recently too. So they have all these things that are kind of built into this. So so if you don't know how to get there, because I know some people's having some problems getting there.
You go to Discover, and go to any unit. Right now, we are currently in unit 3, which is a word. There's a word. So
I don't know why it's not in here.
This is too many examples.
I just finished the syllabus. I will difference and really want to our masters. So I go here to listen. Once I go to open lesson, you have a myriad of resources that you can use. So I'm gonna scroll to help, and because we're talking about differentiation today.
It's okay. I don't like listening to myself twice. It's weird. That's weird. It's weird hearing me twice. All right. That is weird. I don't like it at all. All right. So basically, it was showing you all how to get there. But since most of you all are using this already, you already know how to get there, right? So everybody knows how to get to this material in HMH. Anybody questioning how to get to that? Because we can work through that too. No? Everybody good? All right, great. All right. So what can you do for your diverse learners? Well, you can use simplified language comprehension. One thing we noticed in our class, and we do the co-talk class, is that our kids were struggling on tests, but we had spent so much time on that particular text. How are you struggling on the text? And we spent a week on this text. So one thing we realized is that maybe they didn't understand the language that was being used in the question stems, okay? So we had to go in and kind of simplify that language and streamline the language that we use in class with the language that is on the test so that they can be successful. Because it's not that they don't know the material, it's just that the way that the questions are being presented does not align with how they are asked to show proficiency in that particular skill. Okay. One thing we've also done this year is provided visual aids to help understanding. So one thing that we've been playing in 11th grade, I don't know if y'all have you ever played the game Hot Seat? With your class?
Ooh, they love it.
They love it. It's so what we do when we start every new unit, right? We look on to our planner, our unit planner, and we look at the grade level vocabulary that they're supposed to have, right? And what we do is we make a little hot seat game that is that vocabulary. So what they have to do, you have is two teams. You have a student, two students at the front from each team, and you have their groups. And their groups have to give the definition of that literary word in order for their group member to guess that word. So they love that game. It's one of their most favorite things to do because not only does the students have to show their understanding of their vocabulary word, they have to know those vocabulary words as well. And so when we first started, they would struggle a bit, but now that we have actually worked on things like tone, figurative language, and all those literary terms, when they get up there, they know that, oh, that's a rhetorical device, that's this, and they catch it so quickly. And so it's one way for them to internalize that academic vocabulary in a way that is enjoyable for the kids. They really love playing the hot seat game. They come in every day. We play hot seat day? No, today is not Word Wednesday. We're not hot seat. Okay. For our ELs, who in here is teaching lots of ELs this year? Okay. We have translated materials. Most of it is just Spanish, so that is one thing we need to work on as a district. But we do have translated material. So when you go into HMH, you can go in there and they will have the Spanish version of that text. But even if you don't have a student, your EL students aren't Spanish-speaking students, we do have Elevate, which can also help you all as well. And that's a whole different training, but you do have Elevate as a resource to help you with your EL students. Okay. We do have assistive technology that can enhance our instruction. We have structured outlines. Who has used any of the outlines that HMH has provided online? Have y'all used some of those outlines?
The outlines?
They actually have writing outlines.
Oh.
Yeah, they have
It's
writing.
not under the writable.
They do have some things that are attached to writable. So you know in writable you can go in and differentiate in writable. So that is something who's differentiated in writable. Okay. Okay. That is definitely something to do especially teaching a co-taught class, because we know we have some students that they need those sentence starters to be successful to complete the assignments. And because they need those sentence starters, Writable has that built into it. So we were definitely talking about that too.
But so you're not talking about writing.
No, they have actually structured outlines in HMH for different writing. So if you go to your, and I'll show you how to do it in a minute, but when you go to HMH and you go to, I think it's like Teachers Tools or Teachers Corners, you'll see that material in there. You can just type in writing and you'll see those actual outlines and things there in that nature in there.
Okay.
And then we can have extended time or paces. So for what we've been doing lately, because we do have some students that finish things quickly, well, we can go in and assign our students who usually finish quickly more work, or we can assign a specific assignment to a specific student in HMH, okay? All right.
So they have to do something like
So, before I get to this, who has used Wayground to differentiate? Anybody use Wayground? Okay. All right. So they do have the differentiation directly built into Wayground as well.
Also known as
Yes. Formerly Quizzes, it is now Wayground. So they have differentiation directly laced into it. So you can have, if you know your students' accommodations, all you have to do is go in there and you put it in there one time, and it will give that student the accommodations that they need to be successful in that particular activity. So I did a practice one, so you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it.
Wayground has that differentiation for the first year. Dealing with irony, sarcasm, and understatements.
What we did this week.
Because I taught to my old master, and I'm going to assign it to everything is linked to Wayground.
This is so weird.
Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to assign these people, put all these populations for some language, specifically classes. So look over here. Here. Okay.
can use it for your students with 504s as well.
5 minute practice. Okay, go ahead. So here.
And the Georgia version is always
See
the
it compared to the Georgia version. Got it.
So I have one of my students here, and if I want to give him extra time for a question or whatever, it's all listening. Okay? I'm gonna skip through the rest of this because I can't listen to myself. That's actually gonna bother me.
And isn't, Playground, doesn't it have the Georgia standard?
They do. They do have the Georgia standards.
And I just, I guess the new ones.
Yeah, they do have the new Georgia standards. They do have those in here.
Okay.
All right. Another thing you can do to help your struggling readers is pre-teach your vocabulary. 'Cause who does that? Who goes through and pre-teaches the vocabulary? Okay. All right. Chunking your work into manageable sizes or sections. So that's definitely something that we have to use in our classroom. And then provide audio support to enhance reading accessibility. So one thing I do, I know we have some kids in our class that literally struggle with reading. So we'll just say, hey, you can go ahead and listen to the text. Put on your headphones. We have a classroom set of headphones. Put on your headphones, you can listen to the text because you know HMH has every text where you can listen to the text as well. Okay? All right. We also can use Microsoft Immersive Reader, and Ms. Price brought this to our attention last time that is it Google, the one that you use?
Microsoft Teams has a thing called Reading Progress.
Okay, who's used reading progress in here before? Anybody? Okay, only Price. So we told Price that she has to give a PD on this because of the stuff that she talked about that it can do. Okay, but reading progress is so dope because you can upload a text one to Microsoft Teams and have them read it, and they'll read it out loud, and it'll automatically catch the words in there.
They have to record themselves reading it, and so whatever words they struggle with, they'll have to go through a practice lesson with those words. You can even add make comprehension questions.
Yeah, you mean,
Yeah, so we told her she
Or they have text already in there, and you just type in the next out, and find their own text.
this is in Microsoft.
They have reading progress, speech progress, and math progress.
Oh, that's a team.
Yeah, it's that team. So this, like I said, we have some stuff that can help us out.
Well, it's just between Canvas and Teams. Try not to spread the students too thin.
Yeah, there are a lot of platforms.
What does that mean, Mr. Barry?
I just feel like that there's a lot for students to try and keep track of. Between Writable, between Canvas, between HMH, and then Progress Learning, and yeah, I would like to try and make it more streamlined. I do love the HMH platform. I love what it offers.
And I think, honestly, that's what the district wants us to use.
Yeah.
So if the district wants us to use something, we need to be using what the district wants us to use because they have the stuff that it's not like they don't have it. And you have unit plans, even Dr. Reynolds, when she was in the meeting today, she was talking about how they took the feedback from the teachers and they kind of revamped the next two units that we had. And because if you want us to use this material, you have to find a way for us to streamline the material to use it in a way that makes sense for us and the kids that we teach. Okay? All right, we almost done here, guys. The next portion is going to be interactive. You all know you can use News ELA. They have the differentiation.
And feels
Oh,
really
they
good.
changed it, only use News ELA if you were a gifted teacher, and this big
Really?
For one teacher?
I heard you say an assignment.
I made an assignment the other day.
That's what they're doing today.
Why?
Do you know a date they're coming off the News ELA?
I did this yesterday.
I mean, yeah, because what they're doing today is in the book.
Only gifted kids get to know the news?
They said they were gonna not have comments, they weren't gonna take the comments.
I used to
And I
remember
decided
that.
to get it. Keep paying us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the county is. Yeah.
That's all we
You
need.
go down and
Yeah.
bro, y'all ain't this man. That's my go-to.
I say, the signs came up really quickly and our parking lot was paved really quickly as well. Just working with.
And now we got some new
I
push
don't know if
Is that so?
I don't know if it was a direct link.
And find the
No more
story.
shit.
I don't know if that was a direct.
That's you, what they mean, high school is cool.
Well, Thank you, Ms. Hanfield, let us know that information. But
News outlets for the
yeah, listen, hey man. So here's what I would like for you all to do. We're gonna just go ahead and skip to what I would like for y'all to do. I would like for you to get with your team that you usually work with in your PLC meetings. Okay, really quickly.
Right, Sarah.
I want you to find one scaffold for a group of students that you teach, whether it's ELs, whether it's students with disabilities, whether it's students with 504s, whether it's your gifted students. And I want you to find a way for you to either set scaffold and extend a lesson, or think of a tech tool that you can use in HMH that will help you to differentiate a lesson. Okay, so get with your team, the team that you usually work with on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and think of something that you can do as either an extension activity or a remediation activity to see what you could do. Using HMH. And I'm gonna give y'all 6 minutes. I don't want to respect our time.
I thought you said I didn't need to bring my laptop this morning.
Did I say that? I don't remember saying that.
Ms. Barnes.
I don't remember saying that.
Hey.
Okay, so they have, you wanna go back and which are the
Okay, so team, you all are my team.
they have a scaffold.
We moving on. We've done the 2 hour last stuff. We're moving on to this. Or this later on this.
Story of an hour.
Y'all can start it.
I got it right here. Check it out, everybody.
Oh, not check it out, everybody.
Here's the reading, and here's the questions I've created.
Could I have both?
Absolutely. Reading over here.
This one should have been right?
Yes.
Yes.
These days. Have you?
Excellent. And you got the reading.
I don't have the reading. Thank you,
That's
sir.
just one page.
We're back.
I thought.
Why did you print out the thing? You know they have to protect, right?
Yeah, I know, I just want to, one more page.
I love that you covered it. Okay,
Some kids will be like, I don't have my Chrome. I can't do this.
so you created these questions. How did you go about creating these questions?
Some of them are actually from HMH. So these first ones are actually, this is the warm up from HMH. Yeah. And then,
Oh, yeah.
and then I decided to throw in some irony in here because we covered that with the last one, and this is a really great example of irony.
Different groups.
This is a way for us to make sure that it's still effective.
Different groups working together.
Blended analytical statement at the back, I think is a great way for summarizing the text and using text 11. Enter short stories for an hour, okay, for us to talk about, and then they throw in whatever they get in the back.
So I gave like 6 questions. I feel like I'm
And then I gave, yes, exactly. And then they have a little creative prompt to talk about.
okay.
Make sure they, knock it out.
I like it.
I like it too.
I like it.
I'm with it. I'm with it. 100%
We ain't got let's see what you guys are working on. I'm gonna use what green I have. I love it. I love it.
I don't know, I said use the differentiation that HMH, because she said HMH. That's one way.
We're looking at it.
Where are y'all?
I was on football line since before I came down here. First 15 minutes. I was like thinking about it already. Yeah, but y'all was like, all right, that's not about to keep this.
Like if you go through everything that the book has just as a skill, and then you see that your students are like that.
We found ours. So we can use some of them, each of those, we drop the plug. Yes. The spring case. And then we can go in with, on that same page, you have all those resources, you can increase our level up. Yeah, there was a level up.
They have to level up at our test.
That might give us level up with the different minds.
I was pleasantly surprised with some of their engagement. Not terrible.
We might give them a level up for each
Each level up.
No, so when you sign it, you tell it what it is.
or I just said, either one of them.
I did not mistake. I mean, I felt I was saying last year.
Where they practice tests, we need to get better at.
Always have, because it, I'm a
meet generals and.
Cause when I saw this, it was a whole group, and so I didn't know it could have been differentiated.
So
We
what,
just make only certain students do it, it doesn't have to be for all the whole class to do it.
Auditory, kinesthetic.
Knowledge retention.
Like,
Yeah. So we're not,
They're
so
so,
that's you.
they're so short term in the memory.
it goes my mind.
You also can use that material, you can take this and you can go.
That's what it is.
There's nothing that I can teach this morning.
So, say for
And
example,
it's,
that's
think about it,
the same,
it's
forget about
everything
the
inside
exercise
business
and
social
assessment
media.
test.
Being a social media is a place for love, you know what I mean, like, so I think that makes it.
The question.
Just definitely want, I'm gonna teach a novel this year.
So,
Students love it when I do.
yeah, so there's a lot of different ways.
Develop a relationship with a textbook.
Yes, and I think that that's the thing, like,
Rather than just one and done.
when I sat and I deep dived on stuff for like 2 days, I was like, oh wow, there's a lot of things I didn't even know I could do in here by, you know, playing around, playing around with the
Socrates said, words destroy civilization.
you don't have access to it.
How misinformation goes out.
And you scroll
See
down.
what's gonna happen.
Like this little me, what's still?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Also, you know, the fringe expert will say all the crazy stuff is now being elevated to the.
No, for,
leadership.
which one? From Remind Me Away.
Greenhouse gases don't cause climate change.
Oh, the new.
Are we gonna wait and see how much?
Yeah.
I will be here.
Yeah, so let me ask this question.
Yeah.
So when we do teaching ideas skills, yeah, because
All right, guys. To respect our time, I don't want us to be here all day. If our 30 minutes have lapsed, our 30 minutes have lapsed. I walked with every group, and every group has created an activity, which we thank you for. You come up with differentiating strategies. I talked to Ms. James and Ms. Barnes, Ms. James, Ms. Barnes up here. They said they're going to use what's directly in HMH. HMH has a lot of very specific things in the book that tells you how to differentiate. I talked to this group here. We were talking about the level up practices and the screencast. Okay, and the screencast. So we talked about those too. And I don't remember what we said up here. What y'all say up here in this group?
well, over here, we do the same thing, the screencast on HMH, and, we definitely use a lot of the components within HMH as well.
Okay.
But we also use ELA, so that's why I was a little disappointed.
Yes. And the American Lit group was talking about the next text. We were going to Story of an Hour, and Mr. Berry actually pulled questions from HMH. Yeah, it's something that we love teaching, especially because right now we're on an hourly unit. So we just finished 2-mile master. So you know that hourly portion. All right, so guys, our last thing before we leave, I do have an exit ticket for you all to do. But what I want you to do before the exit ticket, I want you to actually look at this Georgia Department of Education Teacher Keys Effectiveness, and I want you to rate yourself on each of these types of differentiation. Okay, so this is just a personal thing. I want you to rate yourself to see if you feel what level you feel like you are on being able to differentiate. Okay, and once you've done this, I'm gonna go ahead and put my exit ticket.
Before you go for that, the differentiation menu, where is that? You said 2 to 3, you said pick 2 to 3 strategies from from the differentiation menu. Where is
Oh,
that?
those were the things that I gave you at the beginning of the presentation, those things that were in HMH.
Okay.
So those.
Yeah, all the stuff that we did pick from. Okay.
And then once you're done, guys, scan the code for the exit ticket, and you are out of here, people. All right, so just go through that thing is killing me. Oh, hopefully this was useful. Hopefully you all got some material or you just solidify what you're already doing in your differentiation. I really want some more help on the elevate for our ELs.
I mean, first page we'll do one in the future, a PD.
Yeah, because you're not signing on.
Not everybody has access to the elevate.
We do, but didn't know it till late.
Oh, okay. It would have been useful for me last year. Aren't y'all so glad this didn't happen at 1?
Anybody like any breakfast? We have some leftover breakfast that we trying to get rid of. I made some eggs and grits. Yeah, well, it's left over because our math department didn't eat them. Overcooked. I cooked a lot. So anybody want some eggs and grits?
We'll be down.
Y'all good? Y'all good? Are you coming? Okay. Let me know. You want to see what looks? You want to jump in? They're not green now.
I don't know you yet.
They're not green. No, it's not green eggs.
We still learning you, we still learning you.
You'll find out. Keep learning.
So
Can you email this?
I can email it to y'all. I know a lot of people are having access issues. It's because you have to be on your actual school. This is through DeKalb County, you have to be on your school.
Yeah, it said I
I can email everybody because I do have a sign in for everybody.
You got.
Okay. Anyway, I want to thank you all for coming to my short presentation on differentiation based on information that I have deep dived into in HMH. Hopefully it was worth it. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Have a great voting day. Vote.
and cut.
You email me?